with Jane and Co. online. Today I've got Amy, my daughter, helping me with the class. I'm going to concentrate on doing the low level or beginner level exercises. Amy is going to show you the intermediate level or improver level for those of you who want to work that a little bit harder or who know our routines from coming to class. So hopefully you've got plenty of space so that you can stretch out and move, but standing on your mat or towel if you haven't got a mat at home, stand with your feet hip width distance, knees soft, and just lengthening up through your spine, imagining a piece of string pulling you from the top of your head up towards the ceiling, and wiggle the fingers and toes. A couple of shoulder shrugs just to take your shoulders back and down. Bringing your pelvis into that neutral spine position, so making sure your hip bones and pubic bone are level and you have a natural curve in your lower back. Gauge your core muscles to hold that position, your pelvic floor, and a couple of deep breaths just to transfer the breathing into your ribs. So allowing you to keep your tummy muscles in place. As you stand and let your shoulders relax and your spine lengthen, deep breathing, let your body just sway gently, bringing your weight forward onto your toes and then back up to your heels. Gradually reducing those two movements until you find the center point where your body weight is even through both feet and that you can feel your big toes, your little toes and the center of the heels connecting with your mat. Gently turn the head a couple of times to each side, moving your head smoothly but slowly. Keeping your chin parallel to the mat. Come back to the center, drop your chin to the chest, drawing it back up, down again, and back up. Move into the shoulders, so rolling them forward, both together. Change direction, squeezing the shoulder blades together, so getting as much movement into your shoulders as you can. Have the arms, so breathe in and out. Slow, controlled movements, moving as you breathe. Change direction, breathe in and out. Keeping the shoulders back and down, knees soft and tummy gently pulled in. Last one. Into a side bend, so one hand to the hip, arm out to the side. Big stretch, reaching up and over and release. And again, nice control movement and release. Last one, this time hold that stretch. Keeping your weight even through both feet, just lengthen and reach through that arm, trying to stretch the side of the body. And come out of it gently. Repeat to the other side. So reach and stretch. So looking for a nice flowing movement. Number 2. And on the last one, we're going to hold that stretch. Lengthen and reach, so opening up the waist. So getting a bit more space between the ribs and your hips. And then we're going to bring the hands down. So arms out in front, palms facing each other. Still keeping your knees slightly bent and your hips face forward. Taking your right hand, float it behind you, follow with your eyes. And then bring it back to the front. Repeat to the other side. Palm facing up towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxed. Slowly back. Number 2 for this side. And back. Try and relax the shoulders, last 2. Breathing in as they come back, last 1. And coming back to the center. Bringing your hands to the hips, have a quick look down, make sure your feet are parallel. Lengthen up through your spine, engage your tummy as you breathe in. Breathe out and bend your knees. Breathe in and straighten. Easy option just to keep your hips and shoulders in line. If you want to make it a little bit more challenging, take it into a deep squat. Amy's going to show you just a few squats with the arms out trying to push your hips over your heels, taking them back over your heels. Watch the knees don't come too far forward. One more. And back to the center, taking your feet wide, turn them out a little bit. Still bringing your tummy in, try and use your pelvic floor, bend your knees, push them out over the toes. Breathe in as you straighten. Again, just keeping it within your comfort range. If you do want to make it a little harder, take your feet wide out and try and lower your hips as low as you can. Aiming for that straight line across the knees as you bend. Still keep shoulders above your hips, pressing firmly through both feet. Last two. And last one. And coming back to the center, bringing your feet back to parallel. Finishing off your warm-up with just a little bit of balance. So finding a spot to focus your gaze, breathe in, lift your heels. Now if you find your mat makes you a wee bit wobbly, do step off your mat or find a flat surface. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower. Don't worry about the height, just try and get a little bit of movement into your feet and ankles, but watching for your ankles rolling. Press firmly through your big toes. Okay, one more time. And then relax. Give the legs a little bit of a shake. So, moving into roll downs. So, moving to the end of your mat with your feet parallel. Amy's going to do the harder option. I'm going to do the easier option, which is just a basic roll down. Amy's going to add a squat and a stretch. Your choice which one you want to do. So, engage your tummy, breathe in. As you breathe out, drop your chin to the chest and slowly bend. Take your time. Keep your knees slightly bent throughout, so taking the pressure off your back. Breathe in at the bottom, long breath out to draw yourself slowly back up to standing. Rebuilding your spine slowly. And repeat. We are going to do about 4 or 5 of these, but just move slowly, looking for the stretch into your back as you bend. Keep the knees slightly bent, very important. Breathe in at the bottom, long breath out to draw yourself back up to standing. Rebuilding your spine like a pile of blocks. Down into the next one. So Amy's adding a squat and a stretch, which is to push your knees forward over your toes without lifting your heels. And then pressing your tailbone to the ceiling into the hamstring stretch. Breathing in as you breathe out, draw yourself back up. Keeping the legs straight with that option, as long as it doesn't hurt. Down into the next one. Let the head hang, let your arms relax and hang as you go down. Breathing in at the bottom, long breath out to draw yourself up. Use your tummy muscles, pull in gently to take the pressure off your back. Relax the shoulders, lift the chin. Last one, down again. So for the low level option, this time we're going to add the hamstring stretch. So find a point that's comfortable, straighten your legs, and then just let your body relax and hang. Amy's going to hold the hamstring stretch to get the same stretch, letting your body relax. If you can touch the floor, fold your arms and breathe. Nice deep breaths into the ribs. We're going to come down onto the mat next, so bring your hands onto the floor, bending your knees, come down onto hands and knees. Amy's going to come down onto her front, the harder option. We're going to do a little bit of swimming. If you struggle with knees or wrists, you can sit this one out or try Amy's option. So tummy in, make sure you're neutral. Breathe in. As you breathe out, slide, lift one leg, opposite arm. Breathe in, replace. Keeping the body still, change sides. Try and turn your thumb to the ceiling, as it's a little bit easier on the shoulder. but keeping the back as level as you can. For the harder option, lying on your front, opposite arm and leg, allowing the head to lift just a little. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. So doing the harder option or lying on your front to take it up a level, try lifting both arms and both legs together. Breathing out as you lift, in as you lower. Keeping the shoulders and hips as level as you can with any of the options. If you want to make them a little bit harder, try and hold that up position for a round of breaths. Breathe in, out, and come back in on your second breath in. And other side. Nice deep breaths, keeping the shoulders relaxed if possible. And back down. Let's go for 2 more on each side. Keep the chin tucked in, look down at the mat in front of you. Tempting to follow the hand with your eyes. Try not to, and down. And the next one, nearly there. Breathe out, lift. Hold. Try not to wobble, lift on hands and knees. Breathe in. And out. And replace to the mat. Last 2. Opposite arm to leg, on hands and knees for easy option. Back in on your second breath in. And last option, last one. Relax the shoulders, use your tummy, and then relax. Relax back into child pose, hips to the heels, head down and stretch. However, if that's uncomfortable on your knees, feel free to roll onto your back and do a knees to chest stretch, hugging the knees in tight. Okay, now coming forward onto your front, lower yourselves down gently. Overlapping your fingers, rest your head onto your hands. Have a little bit of a roll and flatten yourself to the floor. I think your phone's gone on. The camera's moving on. You can either relax your legs or bring them tight together. Engage your tummy, breathe in. As you breathe out, just gently lift your chest, head and shoulders away from the floor. Hold, breathe in. And breathe out. And repeat. Light pressure through the hands as you hold. Make sure you draw the shoulders to your hips and keep your chin tucked in. Breathe in and out as you lower. You can stay with that option, or you can make it a little bit harder by popping your arms down by your sides. Again, keep the chin tucked in, lengthen through the crown of your head and the back of your neck. Breathing into the ribs, breathe out lower. Another option to make it more challenging, if you do want to work much harder, would be to put your hands back underneath your forehead and lift the arms as you lift your chest. You can squeeze your legs together if you're feeling it's a little bit uncomfortable in your lower back, just to take the pressure off. Or let your legs relax. It is a little bit harder with your legs relaxed. Okay, let's go for 2 more if you can. Drawing the shoulders down, hold, breathe in, breathe out, and relax down. Last time. Hold, breathe in, and breathe out as you lower. You need to release your back after that, push up onto hands and knees, and into cat stretch. Very gently arching your spine, tucking in the chin and your tailbone. Slowly pushing your chin to the ceiling, just pop the head onto the block. If you don't have a block, a book, or a folded up towel will do the same thing. Slide the shoulders down to get the shoulder blades as flat as possible to the mat, and check your neutral. Always with the legs bent, feet flat on the floor, hip width distance apart. Just be aware that you're not tucking your feet in too close to your hips. Try and get them out a little bit so you have that 90-degree angle at the knees. Couple of deep breaths just to make sure you're breathing correctly. We're going to go into the 100. I'm going to do the low level. Amy's going to do the harder option. We're going to hold for 10 breaths. When you're ready, engage your tummy, breathe in. As you breathe out, float one leg up into tabletop, hold. If you can, bring the other one beside it. Harder option would be to lift the head and shoulders, extend the legs out, breathing in and pulse. 5 times as you breathe in, 5 times as you breathe out. Easier option, just keep your shoulders relaxed, your head down, but breathe. Deep breaths into the ribs. Again, counting to 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out. Use your fingers to count your breaths. Checking that the shoulders are relaxed. Try and keep the right angle at the knee, right angle at the hips. Don't be tempted to draw the knees in. Keep them out a little bit. If you do start to shake or tremble, feel free to put one foot down. If you're doing the harder option with the legs extended and you still get a little shaky, bend your knees back to tabletop. Don't worry if it doesn't take very long to get to your 10 breaths. We will catch up with you shortly. Keep going if you can. Breathing in and out. When you get to 10, come down gently and relax. Well done. Full body stretch to release. Slide the legs down, take your arms over your head. As you stretch, pull up your toes, push your lower back into the floor. And then rest. Okay, bending your knees. So bringing yourself back into that base position, check you back into neutral. We're going to move into one leg circle. Again, we'll do out of easy option. Amy's going to do the harder option. So checking you're in neutral, float one leg up into tabletop. Look for the knee above the hip, shin parallel to the ceiling. And circling the leg within the hip, as if drawing a circle on the ceiling with your kneecap. Harder option is to extend the leg to a 45-degree angle, rotating the whole leg within the hip. Don't make your circles too big. Your focus is keeping your pelvis as still as possible. Use your core muscles, keep your pelvis still. Hands on the hips helps indicate to yourself whether your pelvis is moving. Change direction. Harder option, again, if you want to, would be to extend the bent knee along the floor while you rotate the leg in the air. Nice controlled circles. Imagine you're drawing a circle on the ceiling with your kneecap. And then relax the leg down. Well done. Stretch it out. Give it a little bit of a rub. Okay, let's repeat with the other leg. You okay, Amy?
Yes, thank you.
Excellent. She's got a tough job doing the harder options. Let's move to the other leg. Lift into tabletop. Knee above the hip, shin parallel to the ceiling, and rotate. Hard option, fully extending the leg to a 45-degree angle. Keep the circle small. You can use your hands if you want to guide it round. As you know, I struggle with that option. My arms are not long enough to do that, but you might be able to manage. Check your other could slide the bent knee along the floor if doing a harder option. You might want to take the leg more vertical to give yourself more work. But focus mainly on your pelvis, keep it still, use your tummy muscles. Pulling in gently. And then replace the foot to the floor. Well done. Stretch out once again. Arms over your head, pull up your toes, push your back into the floor. And then rest. We're going to do one more exercise on your back. We're going to do a single leg stretch. Again, a low level and a harder option. So, with your hands by your sides, lifting the feet one at a time into tabletop. Breathe in. As you breathe out, extend one leg. Breathe in, draw it back, and change. So harder option would be to lift the head and shoulders into an abdominal curl. Putting both hands onto one knee, pull the knee in towards the chest as you extend the other leg out. Slow but controlled. Now this is quite a tough option, even for a beginner, that I'm doing. But if you do feel it's too much, pop your feet back down and just lift and extend one leg, bend and replace. Keeping your pelvis as still as you can the whole time. So 3 different options there for you. Concentrate on the breathing. If doing the low level, as you extend the leg, just watch for your pelvis not only rolling from side to side, but rocking forward and back. Let's just do one more on each side. Last one. And relax. Brilliant. Stretch out. Full body stretch. How's it going, Amy? Oh. Well done. Whew. Nice stretch. Okay, roll onto your side. Let's do a little bit of side kick. So, a few options for side kick. We're going to stretch the legs out, then bring them slightly forward, so when you look down you can see your toes. Low level, use your arms as a pillow or cradle your head. If you have a sore shoulder and it's uncomfortable, put your head on a block with your arm out in front. Harder option is to prop your head up with your hand, like Amy's doing. Other hand on the floor in front. Gauge those tummy muscles, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift your top leg hip height. Hold. If you can, bring the other leg up beside it. Lengthen and stretch through both legs. If you're not happy with both legs because it's sore on your hip, keep the bottom leg down and bend the knee. Lengthen and stretch through the top leg or both legs if you can get both legs up. Try and relax the shoulders. If you can, take your hand to your thigh and float that arm up over your head. As it goes over your head, palm down and then bring it back. Amy's going to hold her hand behind her head and try and lift her ribs off the mat so that she's balancing just on her hip and her elbow. And breathe. Nice deep breaths. If you're doing my option, move that arm nice and slowly. You can do it with one leg or both legs. Watch the balance. Try not to let yourself roll back onto your buttock. Try and keep the hips stacked, knees and ankles. Okay, bringing your hand back to the floor. For low level, put the bottom leg down, bend the knee. Lift the top leg a little higher. For the harder option, keep both legs in the air. You're going to flex the foot, float it forward, just a little. Point your toes and bring it back. How far you go is entirely up to you. Amy can go a long way, as you can see. Hopefully not wobbling too much.
You're a little bit wobbly.
Use the tummy muscles, relax the shoulders. So flexing the foot to bring it forward, point to take it back. You could try taking the leg a little bit behind the bottom leg. you want to, but make sure you move your leg from your hip and try not to let your body weight come forward into your supporting hand. Okay, well done. Let's go forward and back once more. And then relax the leg down. Well done. Bring that top leg forward into recovery position and give it a little bit of a rub if necessary. Keeping that leg bent, we're going to work the bottom leg on its own. So this is one for everybody. It's quite challenging. Your focus should be on what's happening in your lower back and your sacrum. Try not to let it move, so use your tummy muscles. Hand onto the hip to make sure that the pelvis doesn't pull up towards your armpit. So try and just press your hip towards your heel. Breathe out and lift the bottom leg. Breathe in lower without touching the mat. Up and down. Slowly point your toes. Use your tummy muscles. You're looking to feel this in your inner thigh as you lift, but just watch what's happening in that lower back. Don't let the waist sink down to your mat. Okay, 4 more. And 3. And 2. Last one. And relax them down. Excellent. Reach down, grab hold of the top foot and pull the heel in towards your bum for your quad stretch. Optional extra for those flexible ones out there would be to put your hand down the front, grab hold of your heel and pull the leg towards your ear. And hold. Amy's very flexible with that one. Don't worry if you don't get that far, but it's a lovely stretch.
Not on a Monday.
Not on a Monday. And relax it down, well done. Push yourselves up into sitting position. We're going to do a little bit of spine twist before we do the other side. So sitting either cross-legged, soles of the feet together, knees out, or legs out in front, feet slightly apart. Amy's going to sit with her legs wider to make it more challenging. Take your arms out to the side, palms down. Lifting the chest, make sure your body weight is back on your sit bones. Legs up through your spine. Breathe in. As you breathe out, gently twist at the waist. And breathe in back to the center. Repeat to the other side. And back. Breathe out. And in. Keeping your nose in line with your breastbone. So low level, keep going. If you have problems with your shoulders, you can put your arms in a Cossack position. Or even hands together, supporting your chin on your middle finger. Harder option is to take it into saw. Amy's going to twist, taking hand to opposite foot and straightening up after each repetition. This is a really good exercise for your upper back and your posture, but I know it's not everybody's favourite. Don't be tempted to miss this one out. It's a good stretch if you're doing the harder option, which is called the saw, where you can add a little extra pulse, as if you were trying to saw off your little toe with the side of your hand. Making sure you pulse from your waist, not your shoulder. Keep the chest lifted, watch you don't start to sink into your hips. How are you doing, Amy? Not Amy's favourite, definitely. Last 2. Well done. And last one. And back to the centre. And relax. Well done. Okay, bring your feet to sit cross-legged. Mermaid stretch to release. So right arm up and over. Make sure you bend this arm so that you can get a little bit more stretch. Try not to wrap the arm side kick on the other side. So stretching your legs out, lower yourself down gently. Hand on the floor in front, legs slightly forward of your hips. Make sure you can see your toes. Amy's going to do the harder option. When you're ready, engage your tummy, breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg hip height. Bring the other leg up beside it. Hold. A little bit of balancing first. Take the supporting hand when you can to your thigh. And float it up and over. Palm down for the low level. Keep the arm moving. Harder option. Hand behind your head. And lifting your ribs up off the mat. So balancing on hip and elbow. Little bit of length through the arm as the arm goes over your head. How's it feeling, Amy?
Very lovely.
Oh dear. Use your tummy, stretch through the legs. The more stretch you get, the better. If you're trying that harder option, find a spot to focus your gaze. I usually look for a spot on the mat in front. Will help. Okay, bringing your hand back to the floor. And lower the bottom leg down for the easy option. Lift the top leg a little higher. Flexing the foot forward and back. So breathe out, bring the leg forward. Breathe in, bring it back. Initially just bring it back in line with the body. But look for the flexing and pointing of your foot. So working front and back of the legs as well as the side. Nice and slowly. Amy's doing the harder option, which is to try and make your leg come as far forward as possible without wobbling. You could start to try and take the leg a little bit further back, just being aware that this knee doesn't lift as you take the leg behind. Take your time, nice and slowly. What tends to happen is your leg will drop as it comes forward, lift as it goes back. Be aware of trying to keep it parallel to the floor. Okay, last two. And last one. And come down gently. Bending the top leg forward into recovery position. Give the hip a little bit of a rub. So keeping that knee on the floor in front, try and stack your hips as much as you can and your shoulders. Hand onto the hip, push the hip towards the heels. Stretch the bottom leg out, make sure it's in line with the body. As you breathe out, lift the top leg, the bottom leg, breathe in lower. Up and down without touching the floor, if you can. Remember, the focus is your sacrum and your lower back, particularly if you have a narrow waist. Don't let the waist drop into the mat. Use your core, pull in gently, use the pelvic floor. So this option is for everybody. If you do find it's tough, keep it a tiny movement. If you want that extra pull, just try and see if you can lift your leg a little higher, but don't let the waist sink into the mat. 3 more. And 2. And last one. And relax. Excellent. Quad stretch to release. If you can't reach your foot, just bend your knee, press the foot behind you. This is where you want to feel the stretch. Harder option for the flexible ones. Hand down the front, grab hold of your heel and pull your leg towards the ceiling or to your ear if you're as flexible as Amy, which I know some of you are. Good stretch, Amy?
Yeah.
And relax. Excellent. Push yourselves up into sitting position. We're going to do some half roll-ups or some full roll-ups. So, easy option, sit up tall, legs bent, hands in the backs of the knees, legs up through your spine. Do you want to start with easy ones and build it up?
Yes, you can.
Yes. If you want to do the same, Start with the gentle option, gradually build it up to the harder option. I'm just going to stick with the low level. I got the short straw this time. Long straw? Don't know. I got the better option of the two. Okay, sit up tall. Keep hold of the backs of your knees. Breathe in, tilt the pelvis. Spine into C shape. Breathe out, roll back. Hold. Breathing in. As you breathe out, bring the shoulders forward and sit up straight. And repeat. So just looking to get a nice little stretch into the lower back. Breathe out as you come forward. To make it harder, hold your arms out in front. Amy's going to go a little bit further if she can for that harder option. Gently back, try and relax the shoulders, hold, use your tummy. If it's a little bit sore on your back, don't go so far. Amy's now going to take it up a level by extending her legs out and going all the way to the floor. Arms over your head. Remember, if you're not very keen on that option, stick with what I'm doing. Just concentrating on that gentle rock through your sit bones, using your tummy muscles and stretching out your lower back. Hold it a little bit longer if you think you can. Breathe out as you release and sit up straight. Coming back up to sitting. Stretch your legs out, lift up out of the hips, reach forward into spine stretch. You can flex the feet, grab the toes, gently pull if you can't reach your feet. Hands around the back of your calves and pull. And come out of it slowly. And again, lift up, fold yourself in half. Grab hold of whatever you can reach, gently pull. You're looking to feel the stretch here, as well as the backs of your legs. If it's too sore on the backs of the legs, just point your toes. Come out of it slowly. And again, last one. Lift and stretch. And come out of it slowly. Arms out in front, lower yourself gently all the way to the floor. Use your arms if you can't manage that option. And stretch. Nice big stretch. Okay, now bending your knees. We're going to move into shoulder bridges next, as we need to bend you back the other way. So feet need to be a little bit closer to the hips, hands down by your sides. So basic bridge first, breathing in, tilt the pelvis, press your lower back into the mat, squeeze your buttocks, lift your hips as you peel up into bridge. Hold, breathe in, take both arms over your head. Leaving your arms there, long breath out, roll your spine down slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Pressing your lower back into the mat, rolling your pelvis back to neutral, arms back at the end. Into the next one. You could add a couple of extra things to your bridge if you want to make it more challenging, which Amy's going to do. As you roll your spine down slowly, make sure you're back into neutral, and as you bring your arms back, add a little abdominal curl. Putting the hands down as you put your head down. Another little extra you could add is as you lift up into bridge, take your arms over your head, lift your heels. Both heels, watch out for cramp in the calves and the hamstrings. Keep your heels lifted while you roll your spine down slowly. Think of it like a bicycle chain, one link at a time. Pressing the back into the mat. As you bring your arms back, pop the heels down, but don't forget your abdominal curl. Head down as your arms come down. Let's go for one more. How are you doing, Amy? I know, it was worst exercise. Really good to open up Flexing the foot on the extended leg and hold. And change legs. And hold. And breathe. Nice deep breaths, sending lots of oxygen into the body while stretching, just to get those muscles to move. And then relax. Take both arms out to the side. Pop your right foot onto your left knee, rolling both legs to the right, turn the head to the left. Relax your tummy muscles while you do this, but try and get the shoulders on the floor. Just let your knees drop to the floor. Hold it. And slowly come back to the center. Swap the feet over. Both legs to the left, head to the right. Imagine you being wrung out like a dishcloth. Getting that nice twist around the body. Remember, just work within your comfort range. You don't want to feel any pain, just mild discomfort. Coming back to the center. Pop both feet back onto the floor, arms in. Bring the soles of the feet together, let your knees drop, one to each side. If you like to, take both arms over your head and just relax into that stretch and breathe. Bringing your arms back, bring your knees back together. Final stretch, put your right foot back onto your left knee and either push your knee away with your right hand, or if you're flexible enough, slip both hands around the back of your left thigh, gently pull, pulling the left knee towards your left shoulder. That should give you the stretch into your hip. And release and repeat on the other side. So left foot onto the right knee, again easy option, push the knee away with your hand, or feed both hands through behind your thigh and gently pull. Oh, that's so good. Do you like that one, Amy?
Yeah.
Ah, it's good. Oh, so good after gardening yesterday. And then relax. Bring your feet back down onto the floor. And breathe. Take a few minutes now just to finish off with a little bit of relaxing. Don't rush up too quickly. Hope you've enjoyed your session today. And we'll look forward to giving you some more sessions later in the week. Thank you. Bye.
45 minutes, 25 seconds.
That's what we're aiming for, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Is that alright, do you think? Does it sound okay?